Hey there, and welcome back to our channel. So if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, hit the button below for all things Evanston, Wyoming real estate. So today we're diving into a hot topic that is on a lot of our minds. The question is right now a really good time to buy real estate here in Evanston, Wyoming? With the dynamic nature of real estate markets, it's kind of crucial to analyze the current trends, different indicators to make an informed decision. So let's get started. Join me on this week's episode. Let's hop right in. First, let's talk about the current real estate market here in Wyoming. As of March 2025, we've seen some interesting trends according to the latest data from our MLS. The median in price of houses has increased from $287,000 to this last year being at $331,000. And inventory levels are super low. Right now, they are very, very low. In Evanston, Wyoming, for residential, we have around 22 listings right now. That makes it very hard for buyers when we're going out and showing houses. A lot of the times we might find one or two houses in their price range, and that's it. Back in the day, there was a whole bunch of houses and you could make a whole day out of it. Now it's just 15-20 minute appointments to see one or two houses, and the average days on market has stayed about the same last year versus this year. We're currently sitting at about 141 days on the market, which means the buyers are kind of being a little bit more selective, a little bit more thorough in their house buying process. A couple economic factors. Let's talk about the landscape of Wyoming's economy. While it's kind of unique and it has a bunch of different industries like oil, gas, natural gas, coal, tourism, agricultural, we've seen major developments in some new job growth, especially in the area, and some more infrastructure projects like the Kemmer nuclear power plant is coming in. So we're expecting a huge impact on the housing market when not only that comes in, but there's going to have to be several other billion-dollar companies to actually support the infrastructure of the power plant. And the unemployment rate in Wyoming is currently at like 3.5%, which is lower than the national average of 4.1. Low unemployment leads to an increased demand in housing, so more people are able to actually buy homes. Additionally, the population over the entire state has been steadily growing over the last couple of years. So that is also creating an increase in demand for real estate and homes in the area. If people can afford to buy houses, they generally do. So quick backstory, I had a client who bought a house this last year, and the seller actually was selling her house and she had lived there for 5 years. And unfortunately, where she bought her house, she bought it super high in price. So she was able to end up breaking even after 5 years. So she owned it for 5 years. She was able to live there, and then return on her investment was pretty much what her cost was to purchase the house and her mortgage costs for those 5 years. And so essentially she was able to actually live in this house for 5 years and without paying rent, without paying a lot to live. And so it was still, I consider, a great investment on her house. Even if you have a house that you can live in for 5 years rent free, I would say that's a great thing if you can live in a house for 5 years. Hey y'all, are you thinking about relocating to Evanston, Wyoming? My team and I have developed the ultimate relocation guide, and it's 100% free. Down in the description, let me know what you think. Have a great day. So let's talk about some pros and cons. So weighing some pros and cons of buying real estate in Wyoming right now. Understand these factors can help you make an informed decisions. So potential growth in desired areas is a huge factor in whether or not you want to buy a home, such as regions and cities in the area. If they're experiencing growth, it may offer a great investment opportunities down the road. As your house becomes more in bigger cities, it might create that spike in your investment. In Wyoming, we don't have a lot of big cities, but there is slowly getting some trickling in from the new companies and new businesses that are coming in with those bigger cities like we see in the Utah market. It has just exploded down in the Utah market. I remember I bought a house down there. My first house I bought was $92,000 and now it just sold for about $400,000. So just crazy to see the growth that comes with the big cities. Generally in Wyoming, there is a little less competition compared to those bigger states and bigger markets, and it allows the buyers to negotiate a little bit better deals just because we're kind of off the beaten path. Some of the cons right now, as of March 2025, those rates are still at 6.5%, 7%. So a lot of the buyers are kind of not ready to kind of bite off that bullet yet, just because of those huge rates. We were used to those 3% rates for a while, but those days are kind of gone, long gone for now. And the real estate markets can be kind of unpredictable. Prices have been up and down, up and down, up and down. But overall, we've seen higher property taxes, higher property rates as well. So as far as the supply and demand go, with the low supply and the high demand, it's kind of driving up those prices. And then there is just a certain limited inventory in certain areas. While some regions have plenty of options, others really don't have a lot of inventory, and it's making it kind of challenging to find a home, like I was talking about. When we're only going to look at 1 or 2 houses on a Saturday, it's kind of hard for the buyers to narrow down their search and see what they really like, because they really haven't seen very much. They've only seen 1 or 2 houses that are in the inventory in our market. Each buyer situation is kind of unique, so it's important to weigh these pros and cons based on your specific circumstances and your long-term goals. Your long-term goals have to support your lifestyle throughout the rest of your life. So make sure you find the house that you love and you like. So is now a good time to buy real estate in Wyoming? The answer kind of really depends on your personal circumstances, the current market conditions, your current financial goals, and whether you're considering the market. Be sure to do your research and stay informed. Consult with local experts within the community to guide you kind of through the process. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you have any questions or just want to kind of banter about real estate options, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think about the real estate market and where you think the real estate is going. So until next time, happy hunting and have a wonderful day.